Hey, this is just a quick video update on my Armored Models SU-152 conversion I've been working on. I had bought a old KV-1 that somebody had attempted to convert with a Taigen lower hull. Wasn't very successful with it. They had the wrong tracks trying to mate up to the Heng Long sprockets, so I had to buy the proper sprockets to put on it. And I also put in some Heng Long CNC gearboxes. These are the slow speed, the mid to low versions. Currently the wiring is a mess because I'm just testing it right now, but the primary reason for the video is I was redoing the entire recoil and traverse mechanism that came with the kit. Originally the kit came with this FDM printed recoil mechanism with a little piece of aluminum and then an FDM muzzle brake on it. Well, when I first got it, I inserted it in here and instantly that piece broke off, and as you can see, it rattles around in here a little bit. So I decided to get this all aluminum barrel from a company in Germany called MK Modelbau, and it wouldn't fit inside the stock housing because it's a little bit bigger diameter back here. So I refabricated the entire mount using a piece of PVC pipe. I had some PVC blocks around that I fabricated a new servo mount out of, and I PVC glued it to this piece and then redid all the linkages, and as you can see, that's where I've got. I didn't quite like the way the mantlet was set up. It didn't seem to be like it was wide enough, and it had a big open here spot here for the rain cover. And when the gun would move around, the rain cover would open up this wide area on the top. So I decided to fill it in with milliput, and I'm currently resculpting these to cover up some of the sides when the gun traverses to make sure you can't see directly in there when it moves. So basically, that's where I'm at, and I was testing it. So at this point, as you can see, the traverse works, and I can also get the recoil to work. I think it's set up right now for 9 seconds delay on the firing. As you see, it works pretty well, even though this barrel is extremely heavy. Which is also another reason why I couldn't use the stock housing, because even if I bored it out to be able to fit the stock or this new barrel, it wouldn't leave enough material, and that piece would become very brittle. So I didn't want it to break. And of course this is the sleeve that came with it, and of course as you can see it's pretty short. It wouldn't mate up with the stock housing if I were to put it up here, so I just decided to fabricate everything again. And the screws that I'm using in there, I found these in my computer spare parts, and they have a nice shoulder on them, and that's where the wires are wrapped around that shoulder so that there's very little resistance on them. So basically there it is. I know some of you have probably not seen these gearboxes, so I can actually fire the tank up and run them because they are pretty quiet. I was surprised how quiet they are. And this is being run with a Clark TK-40 board, so the slow speed is pretty good. You don't hear any ESE noise. And if I turn down the sound, you can hear that the gearboxes make very little noise. What you're hearing is basically the tracks. It will do a neutral turn, and I have it set up right now to do that in the Clark board. It also will do a skid steer turn, since that's what the SU-152 would have been able to do in World War II. It would not have been able to do a neutral turn. but unfortunately there's no way for me to turn it off in the Clark board and have satisfactory results. So basically, there it is. So as you can hear, the gearboxes run really smooth, both forward and reverse. And it will even crawl. So basically I've taken the kit and I've made quite a few changes to the kit. I've actually done quite a few updates to it. Improved some of the details. I actually remolded or fabricated these new rails out of brass. They were originally SLA printed, but they were pretty fragile, so I didn't want to use them. Of course, I've added weld details and things to the kit. This flat part here on the front was not part of the kit. I actually did that myself because that's actually part of the real SU-152. The kit didn't account for that, so it was pretty difficult to actually get everything to line up. This part of the bottom of the mantlet is actually sculpted in milliput because it's also not part of the kit. I actually refabricated all of the holders for the track guards, or for the fenders. Refabricated all the straps on all of the fuel tanks. Added a bunch of detail here, the track holders, the little box here. Also added the cleaning rods for the gun, which were not included in the kit. The tool holders for the pickaxe. These actually came out of an Aber kit for the KV-1. And basically the inside you have the elevation mechanism with a new elevation arm that I fabricated out of a piece of acrylic, because the original ones were FDM printed and they kept breaking on me like this. I have 3 of these that came with the kit, and 2 of them have cracked and broken before I even really got them installed. So that's why I refabricated all the new mounts using the metal bar or the metal wire, because these actually looks like all 3 of them broke. This one's broken too. So that's kind of an update of what's going on. I actually used some epoxy putty around the front of this to reinforce this whole area on the kit, because it made it kind of weak since I had to put that little shelf in there. Use some the same kind of plumber's epoxy putty here on the back, and reinforced the edges around here with styrene, because this piece was difficult to get stable. And then of course I put some styrene sheets along the track guards just to give the whole thing an extra measure of stiffness, so it doesn't actually flex at all. So there it is. If you have any questions, comments, you guys can let me know, and I'll see what I can do to answer them. Thanks.